Yes, guys, how you doing? Welcome back to Football Inc. Hope you're all happy and healthy doing the things you love. It is Tuesday. It's game day for several teams. Another one to navigate for tired old Tottenham. I'm here with Jonny, and of course, we are here with you, lovely lot. Please do smash the like button, hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell, that should be squeezed. And of course, drop your comments thick and fast. Let us know your thoughts on today's channel. Big up to all you lot in the chat. You're always so awesome every single day. Me and Jonny were talking about you lot this morning. We love you lot, we do. Last thing, before I hand over to Jonny, find out how he's doing, guys, is please hit the subscribe if you haven't done that one. Please do also check us out on the podcast platforms. If that's your thing, then we are available on Spotify, where you can watch us back, or we are also on Apple Pods as well. So please do search us over there, Football Inc., or just go into the description and find the link. Give us a follow and a rating. Jonny, how are you, buddy? Good to see you.
I'm all right. Good to see you. And yeah, we were saying in the backstage that we got a really, really nice community here. If you go to a lot of YouTube channels, in the chat, it can be quite toxic. I mean, not everyone agrees with everyone in the chat, but that's fine. That's what football's all about. But it's a really nice group of people from lots of different clubs. And, we love it. We love the interaction between you guys in the chat, telling us where we're going wrong, the banter, everything that goes on here. We love it. Hope you love it. And if you got any suggestions, hit them up to us. Send us a message, and we'll see if we can accommodate it. But big week, Sean. Obviously, with Arsenal dropping points against Chelsea, or Chelsea winning points, I'm not quite sure which way you'd look at it. But
I think it was a point that was well earned by both teams.
Yeah. But I think the next two games coming up, Arsenal, Brentford, and Chelsea away at Fulham, should be quite an interesting one. Chelsea play Fulham. They play them tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah, tonight we have Tottenham away at Newcastle, which is obviously a feature game for our channel. We've got quite a few Newcastle fans that pop in, and obviously we've got a lot of Tottenham fans as well. We also have. Have you done your fantasy league team, by the way?
No, not yet.
I haven't changed mine either. There's only 3 games today. Bournemouth at home to Everton. That will be a good one. Everton looking to recover from defeat, and as were Bournemouth away at Sunderland. Fulham at home to Manchester City. Can Fulham capitalise on their good home form and on the back of the Tottenham result? Manchester City obviously needing the 3 points desperately to put the pressure on Arsenal, who play tomorrow night against Brentford, alongside there's 6 games tomorrow night. So there's 3 games tonight, 6 games tomorrow night, and then 1 on Thursday, United against West Ham. But we'll deal with those ones when... Oh, sorry, my microphone's over there. We'll deal with those ones when tomorrow comes. Today, though, we've got to talk about Bournemouth, Everton, Fulham, Man City, and Newcastle, Tottenham. We've also got a lot of transfer news, views, and clues to get through. But as well as that, we have a crazy story, really interesting story with regards...
Our favourite,
two of our favourite people, Jonny, Mr. Marinakis. So yes, sir, Mr. Marinakis, and Johnny Boy Texter, who doesn't mind being entirely open about his ambitions and his game style and his
cheating.
Well, I don't know. I don't think this is cheating, to be honest. I think this is a very clever tactic. I don't know if there's breaking any rules, but we'll talk about it. Should we start with this particular story, Jonny, or should we start with...
No, we can start with this Marinakis story. Look, so if you've been a fan of the channel, you've been watching us for a long time, we've spoken quite a lot about some of the deals. This was before anyone else is blowing it up. We've been going on about this for months, about the deals done with Marinakis and John Texter with his club Lyon and Botafogo, and Marinakis' clubs Olympiacos and obviously Nottingham Forest, how they conspired between them all to somehow, even though John Texter was a shareholder of Crystal Palace, to get Crystal Palace thrown out of the competition so that Nottingham Forest could take part in the competition. And the way they did that was to help Lyon get back in the competition. by some jiggery pokery with their transfers and the monies and all the rest.
A lot of the money that John Textor raised from selling his 41% stake went into Lyon's coffers, which shored up Lyon's finances at the same time as Paris did them a solid in repaying early a significant amount of money that they got that they owed Lyon for Bradley Barcola. And in so doing, Lyon managed to escape the League Two relegation, which allowed them to stay in League One, which then allowed them to stay in the Europa League.
And also a player that was on loan at from Nottingham Forest conceded a last-minute penalty to give Lyon the chance to score the goal, which enabled them to get in the Europa League spot. Listen.
And don't forget as well, Botafogo had a player that was on loan at Lyon, who then was conveniently sold to Atletico Madrid to also raise finances to go to go into Lyon's coffers.
And also Cunha and Igor Jesus, who both came from Botafogo to Nottingham Forest for a combined fee of only £30 million when they were both expected to be considerably more. And then the goalkeeper who came from Botafogo, lastminute.com. Yeah, look, it stinks. But
the goalkeeper was Matt Turner, right?
Yeah,
Matt Turner went from Forest to Lyon.
Correct.
£7 million this summer, and then was immediately loaned out to MLS side New England Revolution.
Correct.
There's loads of these examples. Anyway, so like that's all the history, right? That's the history. But guys, then today, essentially Marinakis and John Textor, they are adjusting, quote unquote, adjusting transfer fees for each other. The former Crystal Palace owner claims that it's nothing wrong with it. It's just a nice relationship between two people that want to work together. John Textor wanted to work with Marinakis when he was at Forest, but Steve Parish didn't allow it or wouldn't sort of get on board it. Which technically, I don't know if that's where the legality thing is, mate, because technically that would sort of come across like two conflicts of interest within the same league. But anyway, it didn't happen. John Textor sells his stake in the club, and all the other stuff is history. But now it's come out that the two of them adjust transfer fees between the two clubs to keep the relationship sweet. Sometimes they get a little bit more, sometimes they get a little bit less. And both parties have come out in various different stages to talk about their role in that. And it's invoked the reaction of certain lawyers, and certain people have brought commentary on it. From potentially the footballing authority guy, the oversight committee, whatever it's called in England. We've got a load of stories. John, do you have the quotes, or do you want me to bring out the quotes for you?
You can bring out the quotes. The other thing I'd like to say is we've done another feature on this show where we spoke about this huge debt pile that John Textor has, that he's struggling to service. In fact, we know he has because he's missed his payments.
Yeah.
And also their denial only a few months ago that they were planning to work together on a fund. Well, they might not be working together on a new fund, but they're certainly working together on every transfer between all the clubs. And you rub mine, I'll rub yours. How much do you need to make FFP? Okay. Yep. We'll pay over the odds. We'll give you another player on the other side who's worth more money. We'll balance it up so you don't fall foul of the rules. Come on, close the loophole. EPL.
I don't know how you can close it, mate, because value's in the eye of the beholder, isn't it, John?
Right.
We've been saying this for years about PSR and FFP. It's bollocks, isn't it?
Well, it's bollocks.
Do you remember, Johnny? You and I, way back, 2 summers ago, started talking about the loopholes that were obviously there to be exploited that hadn't yet been exploited. And we talked about one of them where was, Club A and Club B, they sell a player to each other that comes through each other's youth team at 50 million quid rather than 10 million quid. And then they immediately get that money onto their books, which goes as pure profit. And then on the other side, they get to amortize it over 5 years. And it looks like it's it doesn't make any difference to the actual cash flow of the football clubs, but it makes a huge difference on the ability to spend money.
Correct. I mean,
And then 24 hours later, that's exactly what happened between I think it was it Villa and Everton or Chelsea and Newcastle? I forget who the two players.
It was Villa, Chelsea selling players that hadn't done anything for vast sums of money.
Yeah,
like 25, 30 million pound, who had done nothing, just so that they could get that multiple to meet FFP and PSR. Aston Villa have done it, and Newcastle had to sell Elliot Anderson, not because they wanted to, but to meet FFP and PSR to get that money. Otherwise, they would never have sold him. And
what a player both of those guys have turned out to be, though.
Yeah.
If Newcastle had kept hold of those two players, I mean, at the time maybe there was some, I don't know whether valuations were correct, but they're both absolutely phenomenal talents, aren't they?
Well, look, Minte and Elliot Anderson, the two of those players alone must be worth about 160 million.
Yeah, I'd say so. Probably not a shout, but not a bad shout. Let's have a little read through this story. So Marinakis and Textor adjust transfer fees for each other's clubs to sustain their relationship. The latter has said. Textor says that he sees Marinakis as a partner in the football world, but denies the idea that they have sold players at reduced prices between their clubs. Marinakis is the owner of Forest, while Textor sold his 43% stake in Palace for 190 bar. They also have a portfolio of clubs worldwide. Marinakis owns Olympiacos in Greece, Rio Ave in Portugal, while Textor, through Eagle Holdings, has Lyon in France temporarily. I think that is until that one gets handed over to Ares Capital, and Botafogo in Brazil. Textor's sale of Palace came too late for them to enter the Europa League due to his ownership of Lyon. The Daily Mail Sports contacted both Forest and Palace but have received no reply. However, a source at Forest told the Times that the club was perplexed by Textor's comments. They felt that all 4 transfers between Botafogo and Forest were agreed at a fair price. 9 players have transferred between their clubs in the last 3 years. 4 have been from one of Textor's clubs to Marinakis, and 5 vice versa. A little bit of back scratching. There is no suggestion that either club has breached transfer regulations. The Premier League assesses all transfers over the value of £1 million. The relationship is, this is the first quote here. The relationship is, though we do not own Nottingham Forest and Marinakis does not own any piece of Eagle football, he has really become the partner that we wanted to have with Crystal Palace. Textor told a Botafogo fans YouTube channel, Canal do TF. Imagine if we could have Daniel Levy or whatever popping up on
Botafogo.
It'd be great, wouldn't it?
Look, Botafogo, Textor borrowed all the money from Lyon to spunk it down at Botafogo, then realised that Lyon were up shit's creek and we're going to be in trouble, then got rid of 4 players, I think, from Botafogo to Forest to get the money back to get them out of shit. They must be over the moon, the Botafogo fans.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Lyon fans, we absolutely furious. It was Thiago Almada was the player. I couldn't think of his name. Thiago Almada. What a player he is, by the way. It's important, I believe, to have a strong Brazilian club, to have a strong European club, to have a strong United Kingdom club. I would like a partner in Portugal, Rio Ave. This is his one. Yeah. I might even prefer a partner in Spain more than a partner in France, but Marinakis has effectively become that partner because he has clubs in Portugal, clubs in Greece, and a club in the UK. And he, more than any other owner I've met in the world of football, believes in Brazilian talent. That's my first explanation, my first excuse. The second part of the question is you have to understand that you do your best to allocate the transfer price on an athlete-by-athlete basis, but you also understand that if you have a large relationship and you've been trading players in Brazil and elsewhere because he's sending players to us in France, we sent some younger players to him in Portugal, right? Players are sold at mates' rates then. I fucking love this guy. I absolutely love him. I think he's brilliant.
He's 50 million, but to you, 6, right? Okay, buy him for 6. And then what you can do, you can sell him for 50 2 seconds after he arrives, right? I mean, there's players going to the club and leaving 2 seconds after. You know,
mate, he's a breath of fresh air with like the open communication. I'm not sure. I think I said to the guys on this channel before. I think it was Ryan's a Brighton fan. There's another one. I think there's another Ryan who's a Wolves fan, and then there's Wolves FI. Yeah. I did say to them, I don't think you really want John Textor in your football club because I think that he's a bit of he's sort of robbing Peter to pay Paul with his debts. But he wanted a British club to be able to to get these players out of Portugal or Portuguese speaking nations like Brazil.
Brazil. They would have had a squad of Brazilians probably.
Yeah. And look, there's a lot of talent coming out of Brazil right now, mate. Think about Esteval. Think about the players that we were looking at, Rayan, and there's all these
There's
and
so
Chelsea
many,
and
yeah.
What's that?
There's so many. I mean,
So
listen,
many.
there's so many. There's so many players. Even also Rans are. Igor Thiago didn't have the high profile that Endrick and Esteval and all these others, have had.
Yeah.
Look, I think the thing is here, Sean, is that they're brazen. They're very brazen about what they're doing.
I don't know. I don't see the problem with it. Right? They're not breaking any rules. I don't think this is particularly.
What do you mean? I'll ask you the question, right? Because I don't believe they do it. But fair and proper and sound owners for a Premier League club, right? That's what they have to do, right? To meet the requirements. How would John Textor meet that requirement when he's got huge debts already that he can't meet? How?
Well,
he can't meet the debts for Leon, which looks like he's gonna foreclose.
Yeah, I think Leon will eventually fall in the hands of Aris Capital unless
owing the money,
unless Marinakis. Yeah, he basically borrowed a shit ton of money from Aris Capital, who are very similar to I forget the other name. Will come to me in a second.
How much did he owe, Sean? Do you remember the number? I was trying to remember the number.
He owes £75 million interest a year.
Yeah.
On a rolling debt that is payment in kind. So it's the debt rolls on the loan. Yeah. So even if you can't, he basically forfeited on the debt he owed last year. And Aris said, "That's okay. Don't worry. We'll roll it up onto next year." But obviously, the compounding interest continues. So it will get to a point, in my opinion, absent some other kind of step-in venture here, it will get to the point where he owes too much money. And then Leon, Botafogo, I think Botafogo, if I remember correctly from doing the research on it, I think Botafogo is under some sort of other ownership umbrella within the Eagle Football Holdings thing. And so they're not really at risk. And they also generate great revenues relative to the others. But I would fear for Molenbeek, who's their other team, which hasn't been mentioned in this, but he owns Molenbeek in Belgium and he owns obviously Lyon. I think Lyon is the club.
Well, that's the one that's going to go. I mean, isn't it amazing though? When you think that ENIC were almost pioneers of the multi-club ownership, and yet were told by UEFA that they had to get rid of their holdings in Slavia Prague and Glasgow Rangers.
Yeah,
they sold them off.
Yeah.
Can you imagine right now if Spurs owned Slavia Prague and Glasgow Rangers
and AEK Athens?
Yeah,
and, it would have. There's another one as well. I forget the other one.
It would have been. It would have been massively to Spurs' advantage to be sending our youth players instead of playing under 21s and playing for Stoke City or wherever. They could have been out in Europe applying their trade or in Scotland and getting game time. And when you look at what's happened with the Brighton owner and what he's done with Union Gauloise, who won the title, and the players that he's got out there and coming back.
Yeah, Tony Bloom is just and
Hearts. He's
a master of doing it, mate.
Yeah,
and Tony Bloom is probably part of the reason why I have doubts about Thomas Frank. Believe it or not. If you remember, Johnny, let me pull this away for a second. It's going a bit of a side, but we're going to come back to that because there's really other interesting quotes in there as well. But do you remember when Thomas Frank was first brought in, and a lot of people, I think yourself included, were like, everyone was all over it, and I was like, I'm not really married to him. I'm fine with it if he's that great.
I'll be honest, yeah.
And it's fine. Everyone's got an opinion. Like me and you've got an opinion on Alamoda Lookman, right? If Alamoda Lookman comes in and he stinks the place out,
we're all in.
We're all in on it, 100%. And it might be a dangerous one to be all in on, but either way. For me, I did say there's a part of me, and I don't know if it was a fair challenge, but I don't know. But there's a part of me that thinks that there is an argument to say, was it Thomas Frank that developed these players to be sensational, or was it the scouting model that Matthew Benham has put into place that Thomas Frank was a part of sculpting and building 100%? And the answer is you don't know because there's only been one manager at Brentford for 7 years. But then you go down the road to the South Coast and you look at Tony Bloom's model and you look at the managers that have come through Brighton, and then when they've moved on, has their success continued?
Yeah.
And so with De Zerbi, you could arguably say so far, yes, it has. He's a bit of a maniac, but he looks like he's competent and capable, and he plays his own unique model. Not so much with Graham Potter, though, right? Graham Potter was responsible. He was given all of the credit for cultivating cultivating the geezer who went to McAllister at Liverpool, Cucurella, Caicedo. All of those players came up through Potter. Potter then's reputation is strong. He goes to Chelsea, it doesn't work out. He goes to West Ham, it doesn't work out. And now you look at Brentford and you go, well, without Thomas Frank and his whole coaching team, are they going to fall apart? We thought maybe they would be in jeopardy for relegation. But the new geezers that come in, well, he hasn't struggled either. So
interesting point is that I said this to you, that the only person they didn't take with them was Andrews, and Andrews was the innovator of their attacking options. He was the one who let's attack them for 2 seconds. I don't even remember, it was a early part of last season where they were scoring goals within the first 2 minutes. Every time they were all out attack, catching them off guard, scoring goals. Not 1 week, for a few weeks. He was the offensive coach. And you wonder, without that offensive coach who's been working with Thomas Frank, and that's been removed, whether now he's got a massive part of his jigsaw missing. Whereas they've retained it up at Brentford. They've maintained what they were doing before, and now they've got him.
But people are saying, like, oh, should Hertzler get another gig somewhere else? Look what he's doing at Brighton. But it comes back to that thing, like, is it the manager? Or has the manager been identified by the same scouting model? Yes, they're good, but they're good for the fit. It's like super fine-tuned, super dialed in, super sort of deep levels of analysis. From what I read, mate, in an article about 3 years ago that was published, they said they've even got like the next person that they want to take over within the club from the social media captain. When that person moves on to do something else, they know who else the next girl or the next guy who's coming up, who's 18 or 21, is going to take her. Like it's that level of preparation and succession. And so,
I mean,
I don't know how we got onto. How did we get onto Brighton and Brentford?
No, but listen, Hertzler. I mean, I think a lot of people said that when they lost their last manager, that this time they're scraping the barrel. I don't think they're going to do it this time. This coach is too young. Don't think he's capable, and he could find himself in deep shit. Right? Well, they're doing very well, and he's doing very well. We thought that he might struggle to get the respect of the dressing room due to his age and the fact they hadn't been in, but he's overcome a lot of that, and he's doing very well. In fact, they are improving, I would say, Brighton. But sorry, so is it the model of recruitment?
I don't know. I've got no idea. And I don't think anyone can really know. I think it's a bit of both, as Sniffer was saying. By the way, I'm not a problem. I'm not trying to belittle anything. And by the way, what exactly is his achievement? By the way, I'm not entirely sure. He's done very well, but he hasn't won anything. I'm not belittling anything. I've always made the argument before he even joined us that I don't know whether it is Thomas Frank that's a master of coaching, or whether it's a little bit of the ability to find those players that are always destined to be superstars.
Yeah, look, the model has worked at Union Gauloises. The model's worked at Hearts. The model's worked at Brighton. The model's worked at Brentford, and the model's worked at Mitterrand, right? So you can't.
These guys are phenomenal, and I guess that's the point I think you were making earlier about, like, if Tottenham had kept hold of Rangers, if Tottenham had kept hold of all these, like, does Daniel Levy? I know he's gone now, but like they were probably just owning those football clubs because they were all independently able to sort of generate money, and there was a lot of they bought into this idea that fan loyalty equals regular custom, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like people like Benham, and Bloom, they seem to find ways for the synergies to equal everyone, right? All ships rise in a rising tide. And I think Textor's trying to do something similar. And obviously Marinakis doing the same. I don't necessarily think that multi-club ownership is for everybody, unless they really are capable of thinking outside the box and thinking about ways to really maximize. Like, I don't know how many other chairmen are thinking about, shall I get into bed with this guy, and then you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours on a couple of transfers,
Well, the models are very different. Chelsea's model is completely like Arsenal's model now is recruit. I mean, they're just about to buy a couple of Ecuadorian twins for 16 years of age to come to the club when they're 18 years of age. Chelsea, we can see buying Ecuadorian and Brazilian kids that will come to the club when they're 16, 18 years of age. They got sort of a slightly different model to Brighton and Brentford's model. But Spurs don't have a model. Spurs is like scattergun. You know, we're not unearthing gems the way Brighton and some of these other clubs are doing, especially Arsenal, who just keep producing more and more. And they've got a conveyor belt of players. They've got more coming through, Sean. But listen, they're going to need to change something. Man United have, they had some problems with some of their recruitment. They're getting players in now. But let's see what happens. We have tried to change. We got Vuskovic, we got Mason Melia. We're buying more players, but these guys here, John Textor and Marinakis, they're just about doing the deals and trying to buy someone cheap out of Brazil, getting a Brazilian,
moving the money around. Like he goes on to say, so players are sold at mates rates. Then that's a no, according to Texter. Oh, sorry, that's not a quote. That's what the article's saying.
Yeah.
He goes on to say, you feel really stupid when suddenly Igor Jesus, who Botafogo sold to Forest for 16.5 million, is the best player against Liverpool, and you're sure you should have got paid more money for him. But the fact is, his injury history was the greatest reason we didn't get paid more for him. A lot of those numbers will bounce around, and sometimes you'll look stupid, and sometimes they'll make sense. And sometimes it's part of making an adjustment because you trade with that particular friend in a lot of situations. It's not unusual for clubs to have a pattern of sales and for some to have better relationships with each other than others. You may point to, for example, the succession of players who Southampton sold to Liverpool in the 2010s, or the succession of stars who have made the journey from Brighton to Chelsea in recent years. Football law experts have noted the trading link between Marinakis and Textor's clubs, though. Mark Shrimpling, a partner in UK competition and trade practice at Osborne Clark, told Telegraph Sport, this is clearly uncharted water, but in order to compete against the global giants of the game, it's not surprising that clubs slightly further down the chain are thinking creatively about how to combine resources and generate a talent pipeline that is mutually beneficial. Perhaps competitions need to weigh up here the merits of intervention here versus allowing smaller clubs to collaborate in a way that net effect may promote competition more than it harms the playing field. Last quote, I think here. Textor also said, a team owner can say, give me a break on this new one. You know, I overpaid for the last one based on performance. Every deal is a negotiation. And and I love it. And if you desire to continue trading with a particular owner, you sometimes agree to another owner's perception of value, sometimes forfeiting your own perception of value. These negotiations swing both ways. If you adjust the negotiation of a transfer fee, that's not the same thing as adjusting a transfer fee. Oh, that's what he's saying there. So he's like saying, so like, we'll get it back. We'll just get it back later. But won't fans feel aggrieved if a player like that, a player they like, was sold for a specific fee just to keep a partner happy? And this is what he was asked. It's my money, right? Well, is it your money, mate, or is it Aris Capital's money?
Not. It's Aris.
A lot of it is loaned, bro, and debt.
Right, Aris is Capital's money, right? He can't afford to pay back what he's already borrowed, right? I mean, that's the fact. They linked, they linked certain players. The deal involving Cubiano is particularly controversial. He was signed by Forest, but quickly loaned back to Botafogo, which many see as an unusual and possibly a method to navigate financial administrative constraints while keeping flexibility. I love that, a bit of flexibility. The transfer of Nkate to Lyon was particularly high, 34 million. Despite him being a third choice centre-back at Forest. I mean, come on, right? At the time, observations say this helped Forest meet their FFP and PSR. I'll tell you what, do us a favour, right? We are screwed. We need to find some money. Okay, Lyon, who have got no money, right, will overpay £34 million for this player, Nketiah. And then what we'll do is we will sell you 3 of our players from Botafogo for threepence to make up for it. Yeah. Okay. So that we're okay and you're okay. And then, of course, the Lyon business, Lyon couldn't afford to pay £34 million for him because they were in financial doodah, right, already.
Yeah. The problem is, though, mate, is there's 2 problems with that. One is the fans of the football clubs get shafted. Remember, Leon had all that money taken out of their club that was then redirected back to Botafogo so they could buy players to help them win the Copa Libertadores last season.
Yeah.
Right. So Leon gets screwed on that one because they don't care about Botafogo.
No.
And the second problem is, at what point does that money come back into the club's profits to be able to sustain their own ambitions? Like, you have to be, as an owner, if he's sitting there saying it's my money, right? But the fans own the football club, really, right? The fans are the heartbeat. All the money that you have that is generated from the football clubs comes from the fans. And if you are robbing Peter to pay Paul, moving money around on a piece of paper, don't forget MCP. I think it was MCP Capital, or was it 777? One of those other companies. They got they were completely misrepresenting how much money their various organizations within that MCO was making. They were like robbing Peter to pay Paul for an audit. As soon as the audit was passed, the money would then leave and go somewhere else. And it was like 7 or 8 different organizations that were all propped up on the same money. It feels a little bit like cyclical funding, which is a fear of what's happening in the AI market right now with like Nvidia and Microsoft, and they're all just buying each other's and paying each other money.
What I would say is, I mean, look, the clubs, the small clubs that are playing it straight, single club, single ownership, are going to be at a disadvantage if this stuff is going on. If there's FFP and PSR, but you can circumvent it, like John Duran, let's be honest, going for 70 odd million pounds to Saudi Arabia because the Egyptian owner of Aston Villa is mates with the Saudis. He goes off there for 70 million pounds. He's got it back at the back of a drawer, the Saudi owner. And then 6 months later, right, he goes in January for 75. When did you ever see a January sale for 75 million like that? And 6 months later, he's in Turkey on loan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And who's got into Turkish football?
Yeah.
Abramovich,
yeah.
And do we trust any of his sources of funding? No, we fucking don't. Interesting story from Spurs King. Tottenham are intensifying their interest in Antoine Semenyo ahead of the January transfer window.
They're intensifying.
Yeah. I'm really interested in you today. I'm really interested in you.
Really interested. Not just interested and really interested. Really interested. And we're willing to pay you 75 grand a week.
That's how interested we are.
We are massively interested.
If he does come to Tottenham, if he genuinely does come to Tottenham,
I'm going to dance around the living room.
Yeah.
Live.
Yeah, I'll do something more embarrassing.
Considering, approaching, nearing,
readying, contemplating, making a potential interest inquiry in a player.
Yeah. Guys, let's get on to, before we bore everyone to death with our conspiracy theory. They're not conspiracies, guys. We spoke about this months ago, and now it's a bigger news item than when we first started speaking about it, because we saw all the other deals, Sean doing the deep dive on Arias Capital and the Money Texter Road. So this will no doubt be revisited.
Smash the subscribe if you want to get the tomorrow's news today.
Yeah, and guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, tell us where you're from, who you support. Sean, there's a couple of super chats there. Should we do those quickly before we go 100%. On?
Yeah. We've got the super sticker train has well and truly commenced. Big up to you, Cat Funt. Appreciate you, my man. As always, buddy. I love your logo as well. The cock for the gunner badge is fantastic. Chris Robb. Big up to you, Chrissy boy. He says, the boys. Great work from both of you. Sean, you're already on the beers. Yep. Love how you ignore any haters and just laugh it off. What's your 11 tonight? What's your 11 tonight, Johnny? Thank you.
We come up to that? Should we bookmark that and we'll do that one?
We'll bookmark it. Appreciate you, Chris.
We'll come back to you on that one. Thanks for the chat. Thank you.
Appreciate you, mate. Chudini's in the house as well. Big up to you, Chudini. Choo-choo to you. Choo-choo to you. Appreciate you, mate. Always here, always supporting. We love it. And Adam Horlock as well. Adam Score Drawlock is also not as interested as me.
Yes, he's talking about Semenyo.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, 1st of January, Adam Score Drawlock. Yeah, we have to call you Antoine Horlock if he ends up coming on the 1st of January.
Yes, it will be Antoine Horlock.
Very good.
Adam
Very good.
Semenya.
If he comes in, Adam, I will doth tip my hat. But I just don't see it happening personally.
We will be doing this. Guys, please let us know which of you in the chat, one of the members first, who would like to do the predicciones. When we do that, we'll do that in a little bit.
Anyone that hasn't done it yet, who wants to step up, try and take on as well. Sniffer was unbelievable last week on the weekend. If anyone wants to try and outdo it, you still have to get up. You still have to do a little bit better to be able to outperform me. Just saying, but it is what it is. I know people don't like me having a little bit of bolshiness, but I don't have many opportunities in life to be bolshy. So when it comes to predicciones, that's what I'm doing. Any transfer news, views, and clues for us, mate?
Yeah. Interesting one. Al Hilal.
Hang on. We got to introduce it.
The rumor mill. It's time we went there to speculate, gesticulate on who will go where.
Yeah, news coming out of Al Hilal. Former Liverpool striker Darwin Núñez is already looking for a way out of Al Hilal, not enjoying life in the Saudi Pro League. Any takers, do you think, in the because there was rumours of him going to Napoli before he went there, wasn't there?
There was, but you know what he did? He said he wasn't going to go. Now he wants to.
We have a flip-flop. Everyone changes their mind, like they didn't say that last time. We have a flip-flop, trying to erase the past. Well, buddy, you're having a laugh.
Flip-flop. Just one of many flip-floppers. Yeah, I mean, listen, personally, I'd take Darwin Núñez because he's in the right place. He just can't finish his dinner.
No.
No.
What are we doing here, Johnny? Darwin Núñez.
Listen, he's gonna obviously end up at Napoli, and he'll end up smashing it, Sean. He'll end up smashing it. I think no two ways about it. I was talking yesterday, late rumour about Arsenal agreeing a deal for Edwin and Holger Quintero, attacking midfielders. That looks like it's going to go ahead. Interesting, like a bit of bitching going on. The Germans, they seem to be having, first of all, they were talking about Walter Marde. Right.
Before that, they were talking about where are your papers?
Where are your goals? Where are your goals? Yeah, you pay 120 million. Yeah. So Bayern Munich were having a go at Newcastle, if you remember, for the money they paid for Walter Marde, saying absolute waste of time. We weren't going to pay that sort of money. And it's looking like it's backfired, as if that wasn't enough. Bayern Munich honorary president Uli Hoeneß on Florian Wirtz saying, I mean, why are they getting involved? Slot promised Wirtz something that he's now clearly not keeping. I'll build the new team around you with the number 10 shirt. What rubbish, right? He got the number 7 shirt and the new team is clearly not playing anywhere around Florian Wirtz. Why would you be making those? Why would you be making those comments?
Ex-manager.
Yeah,
what are you doing? Nothing to do with you.
Nothing to do with you, geese, right?
You got a king's ransom for a player that isn't ready. Good player, not like I said. We said it at the time, didn't we?
They got rejected.
120 million quid for a geezer that's not done it at this level yet. It's punching.
Listen, they're all smug now because they wanted Florian Wirtz, they wanted Walter Marde, and they got blackballed on both of them. They got blanked on both, but they've got the young kid now who's coming through, the 17-year-old at Bayern Munich. I keep forgetting his fucking name now.
Oh, yeah, I know the one you mean.
You know the one I mean.
The little fella.
He's like, we don't mind you. We don't need you now.
Leonard Cole.
That's the one.
Leonard Cole. Where are your cars, Leonard?
Leonard, schnell. One goalkeeper definitely in demand. Marc-Andre ter Stegen It's attracting lots of interest from lots of clubs in Europe and the Premier League. Would you take him at Spurs, Sean?
Yeah, I would, but I'd rather have Mike Maignan.
Yeah, I think Mike Maignan number one, and the Stegen.
Let me ask you this: would you take the geezer at Newcastle? Not Newcastle, at City.
Trafford.
Trafford.
Yeah, I would.
Because he's unhappy.
Yeah,
and we said he would be, didn't we? We said he'd be like he pissed right off that one.
We said he'd regret it. He should have gone to Newcastle. Instead, they've went for the Pope.
Yeah. He should have gone to Newcastle. He made. Well, listen, you can understand if he thinks he was going to be number one, but he got a chance against Tottenham and he absolutely shat the bed. He was terrible in that second game of the season.
He was. Talking about buying kids, Chelsea are buying another underage player. Chelsea and Manchester United have quietly opened talks with Brazilian club Juramo over a possible transfer of 17-year-old centre-back Luis Eduardo.
I think we spoke about him yesterday.
Yeah, but there's the other one that they're after Chelsea is... it's Chelsea, Liverpool, and a couple of other clubs. The Bundesliga, Castello Lucebo, right?
Lucebo, yeah. I love that. I've loved him for 4 years, Lucebo, when he was over in France.
Do you think
left-sided? When Tottenham were after Alessandro Bastoni, I said, look, if we can't get him, that was Conte time. It was 3 years ago. I said, if you can't get him, go and get Castello Lucebo. He ended up going to Leipzig. He hasn't slowed down. He's a very, very good player. I like Lucebo a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I think there's definitely going to be. What is the biggest priority signing? Do you reckon? Do you think it's going to be defensive players?
For who?
More money spent on defensive players than attacking.
For who? For Tottenham?
This January. No, on the whole, in this January transfer windows, I wonder what percentage.
I don't know. I would say that there's a lot of merry-go-rounds that's going to happen. I don't know if they'll all take place in January, but obviously in the defensive world, you've got Upamecano that hasn't signed a new contract yet that's going to move. You've got obviously Gahey that will probably move, but maybe won't because Steve Parish is Steve Parish. Obviously, Konate. Does anyone want Konate right now? Would you take Konate at Tottenham right now?
I wouldn't even take him at Spurs. No chance, mate. No chance.
Yeah.
He's shot.
I don't know what's gone on. I don't know what's gone on there.
They've all said, no, I'm not interested anymore.
Would he be better off just signing a new contract and then Liverpool will just have, they can get back to doing calm it all down? Or do you think Liverpool even want him anymore?
You know what? If I was Liverpool, I'd sign him on a contract and then sell him.
Yeah.
Because right now he's not worth anything. Right? Sign him on a contract and get rid.
Do you think he's burnt bridges with his shit show performances?
Well, I think he's burnt bridges by refusing to sign. I think they've had 3 offers now. Of contract offer from Liverpool. Look, they let Trent go. They signed. I think they made a mistake, Liverpool. First of all, Hughes has got a lot to answer for. Letting contracts run down on Salah, Trent Arnold, Konate, and Virgil van Dijk. Right? Virgil van Disney signed a new contract. Salah signed a new contract. We'll come on to him in a second. I don't think maybe there is an argument to say maybe they should have been looking to get rid of all of them and rebuilding because they should never
spend too much money in the summer on. I think they I don't know if they were sure about Alex Isak. They probably didn't anticipate that whole thing playing out the way it did, and then when it did, they were like, "Oh, we can't miss this opportunity. He's too good." Yeah. But then in so doing, they probably spent a fortune on forward players, didn't they? I think over 100 on him, over 100 on Baltimore on the 10 Florian Wirtz. TK was about 80, wasn't he, or something?
Frimpong.
Well, I mean, those guys. But there's a lot of change. But those guys obviously are more, or supposed to be more defensive. But in terms of just do you think they really anticipated spending 350 million quid or whatever it was on 3 forwards all in one go, and Salah still being there? Having just signed a big contract, I don't know, but it certainly has. It's not a happy camp.
Mistake, mate. It was a mistake. We highlighted the mistake before the season even started. I constantly highlighted it. I think it was a huge mistake losing Jota, right, is a tragedy. Letting Luis Diaz go, for me, was absolute madness. He's been absolutely fantastic. He's walked straight into Germany and just smashed it. He was banned from the game against Arsenal last week, but they miss his energy. And we saw he was benched, Mohamed Salah, for the game against West Ham. He's now throwing the toys out the pram, Sean. He's leaving.
I know, mate. Like your Arnie Slot, do you have enough brownie points saved up to be able to take on that fight?
I think you do. You do? Listen. I think I looked up the record. I thought that the only person that may have been sacked early doors, before the season ended, in Liverpool's career, may have been Roy Hodgson, right? But apparently he lasted 31 games, so he did the whole season. No Liverpool manager has ever been sacked mid-season that I can find or I know about. If you know someone that has been,
Brendan Rodgers sacked mid-season?
I don't think so. Check. I don't think so. Have a look. I don't know of anyone that's been sacked mid-season, but they should have.
Brendan Rodgers in 2015
was sacked. Was he mid-season?
Yeah.
Roy Evans, going back a bit, it's been a long time. I just think that Hughes has got a lot to answer for, because Arne Slot wanted to keep Diaz, and Hughes didn't, and he didn't bring in a centre back. You let Kwanzaa go. You bought Leone, some young kid. It wasn't enough. If they had a top defence, then fine. I'll tell you who actually did play well, though, against West Ham. Joe Gomez. He actually had a good game against West Ham.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I like Joe Gomez.
They're so threadbare.
Very versatile player.
They're so threadbare. If one of those goes, then they've got Endo or Robertson playing centre backs. No.
Do you think that Real Madrid, right, might be sitting there going, look, a couple more bad defeats for Slot. He's going to get sacked. And then Liverpool will look at the situation with their centre-backs, how thin they are, and go, well, who are the two likely candidates? Probably going to be either Xabi Alonso or Oliver Glasner. But Oliver Glasner playing a back three, like their squad just isn't set up for that. There's too many good players at the forward end.
United, mate.
Right, so Glasner will go there. So Real Madrid probably want to get rid of Xabi Alonso, but probably don't want to have to pay him the compensation. And they might see, just like when Real Madrid paid Liverpool 10 million quid to get Trent Alexander-Arnold early, right, for the Club World Cup. You think Real Madrid might say, look, yeah, you can come and get Xabi Alonso, but you're going to have to pay us 15 million quid in compensation, and we haven't got to pay any compensation at all to Xabi Alonso. So rather, it's like a 30 million pound swing or something for Real Madrid, right?
He's just set on the bench, mate. He's learned, no hablo español, and then he goes on and does the full Spanish interview, and that was the highlight of his transfer to Real Madrid. He sat on the bench for most of the time.
But in terms of like the Xabi Alonso play here, Real Madrid could see 4D chess going on. Whereas if they want to get rid of Xavi because there's civil war happening at Real Madrid, right, it's going to cost them 15, whatever. Let's say 20 million. I've got no idea. 20 million quid, 30 million quid, maybe in compensation to sack him. Instead, they'll wait for Liverpool to sack Slot, and then Liverpool can pay Real Madrid compensation. And so then it's like they save money on what they have to pay Xavi, and they get money back. So it's a little bit of a kind of, I don't know, a little bit of back scratching, mate, like the Textor and Marinakis thing.
Yeah, a bit like a stupid deal with Spurs, when Bayern Munich owed us money for Harry Kane, so they thought they'd take Matthias Tell, and Spurs were being clever. We got a good deal here. I don't think we have.
We'll see about that one, won't we? He can't even get minutes in this fucking shit team.
No, well, that tells you everything.
Should we talk a little bit about the game? Because we've already been going for 50 minutes, mate. We've got to do a bit of the previews for Tottenham, Newcastle, Bournemouth.
Yeah, let's do it.
So we'll save the previews for the 6 games tomorrow. We'll save them for tomorrow's show, but we do need a step up. And I did see someone a minute ago asking whether or not the prediction is just for members. Who was it who said it? It doesn't have to be members. If there's a member of the channel that hasn't done it that wants to do it, then they get the priority. But if there's no takers, then we can go down to just one of the viewers who can step up. I can't find it. Whoever it was. Does anyone want to do the predictions with us? We need someone to step up. But you have got a big boots to fill after Sniffer's wonderful performance on the weekend. Let us know.
Right, come on, someone, one of you in the chat, who's going to do the predicciones this week? We need one of you to step up and do it. There's plenty in here, plenty in the room.
Someone that hasn't done it. Come on, guys.
Come on.
Anyone. Is it that boring? You don't want to do it? What are we doing here?
We normally have like people fighting over it. Come on, anybody, just put in the chat. First one. What's going on? Normally have not a member.
That's CC, you can do it, mate. CC's doing it, okay?
Thank you, CC. Thank you very much. Right, okay. So I think Bournemouth versus Everton. Well, we all know what happened with Bournemouth. 2-0 up, collapse, 3-2 against Sunderland. Semenya back, but they're struggling. They're not finding it as easy now. Kluivert's out, a couple of others in and out of the team. What's your thoughts on this one, Sean? Both trying to get back on track.
No, it's like Bournemouth will win this one easily for me. I'm going to go. It's not even a concern. Semenyo's back, and Everton don't travel as well as they have been playing at home. Bournemouth very good at home. I'm going to say 3-1 to Bournemouth, and that's going to be the correct score, Johnny. So you might as well just copy me, mate, so you don't get left behind.
2-0. I'm going to go Bournemouth.
2-0 to Bournemouth.
0. CC, what's your score prediction? He's gone for 1-1.
1-1. Interesting.
Well, Bournemouth haven't been great, mate. They haven't been great.
They're better than Everton, mate. No problem there. No problem at all. Be an interesting game, though. What time is that game on a little bit earlier? Why is our game on at 8:15, by the way? What's that about?
Yeah, because it's to make sure that Spurs fans can't get home from the game in Newcastle.
Okay. Just really putting that thumb on us, yeah?
Yeah. 8 o'clock on a Saturday night, 8 o'clock on a Friday night. I mean, really, make it difficult. Fulham versus Manchester City. Fulham buzzed after that monumental win against high-flying Tottenham against Manchester City, who, let's be honest, struggled massively against Leeds. And I'll be honest with you, Haaland, Leeds did something I've not seen anyone do. They were putting 2 or 3 players on him in the box.
Yeah.
He was getting really frustrated.
That gives the space to Phil Foden, doesn't it?
Correct. Yeah. Which is why Uncle Phil scored the goal. What are you thinking on this one?
I think Fulham will score. I don't think it will be a walkover. I think that Man City will get the points. I think they'll get a late winner. I'm going to say 1-2 to City on this one. I think Fulham will put up a decent fight.
I'm going to go 3-1 Man City.
3-1 Man City. Okie dokie. Adam's saying CC's saying 2-1 to City as well.
1 to City.
Yeah. Okay. I think there'll be a decent game. It won't be like a Barnsley, but I think Fulham will be competitive in that game.
This is an interesting one. Newcastle high flying at home, like superb at home. Only Arsenal really have, got a bit lucky with a late win there, I would say. Against Spurs, who, whilst playing well at home, just can't seem to produce anything at the moment. Sean, where are you going with this one?
I'm going home win. It's not going to be pretty. I was torn last night between my loyalty to the football club, which would only extend towards us getting a goal, but then in reality I'm thinking if we can keep it tight, I think we'll lose 2-0. But if they get an early goal, I'm thinking it could be open season. And so I think that the latter is going to happen, unfortunately. I'd hate to say this out loud. I don't think I've ever predicted this before, ever. I'm going to go 4-0 Newcastle.
I'm going to go 3-1 Newcastle.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate that.
3-1 Newcastle.
We never do anything at Newcastle. Newcastle are unbelievable at home. They've got the hold over us at their place, and we're in the worst form ever. I got the only possible kind of rationale that we could get something out of the game is a little bit of luck, a red card or something, a bit of like if Joel Linton does what he usually does, but this time doesn't get away with it. He tries to put an elbow on Bergvall or something, and this time he gets red carded, something like that, and to level the playing field. And if that happens, then maybe I'm looking at 2-2. But
Desmond.
Yeah, but I just think Newcastle are going to roll over us. I think that Thomas Frank isn't enjoying it. It's not just about playing badly. So I don't actually think we played that horrendously in the last couple of games. But I think that, just everything's going against us, and Newcastle are a team that are going to take full advantage. So, 4-0 for me, 3-1 for you. What's CC saying?
2-1.
To Newcastle.
2-1. Hang on, let me just see. 2-1. 2-1.
Okay.
Interesting game tomorrow. Arsenal, having a difficult game against Chelsea. At home, as usual. I haven't had to move out of London much. Against Brentford. Going to be an interesting game, this one. Brentford, I don't know how they'll approach the game.
Sitting tight and hold on for dear life, mate. And Igor Thiago might get a little. You know what? Igor Thiago's in such unbelievable form.
He could score, mate.
I'm going to go 3-1
Arsenal. I'm going to go 3-1 Arsenal.
3-1 to Arsenal. Okie dokie. You seen CC in the chat there? What's CC saying? And let us know your chat as well, guys. So I am looking at them all, so I'm not bringing them all up. Steve Commons saying 3-0 Arsenal. Sniffer's going 3-1. Angus is saying 4-0. CC saying 2-0. 2-0. I am going to go for 3-0. 3-0.
This is the game I like. This is the game I like.
This next one's going to be a ball.
Brighton versus Villa.
Yeah, going to be fantastic game.
Both teams on form at the moment. Players coming back for Brighton. Villa on a fantastic run. I think they got a little bit lucky at home against Wolves with a fantastic strike. The only difference between the two teams, Rob Edwards did a good job getting in there early. Maybe it's too tall of a task. But I'm going to go Brighton 2, Villa 1.
Okay, 1 second. Sorry, I'm just getting this tab. You're going Brighton 2, Villa 1. I think that this one could go either way. I think it's an absolute. I think it's got. I know. Sorry. Yeah.
This could be a win or a draw for either team.
This one is going to have a result in it for sure. I think it's going to be. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think Aston Villa are. You know what I'm going to do? Because I don't know, but I know it's going to be a cracking game. I'm going to say 2-2. Desmond. And CC's gone 2-1 Vin for Aston Villa. And you've gone 2-1 Brighton, have you?
Yeah.
Oh, so one of us is going to get at least a point, and the other two are going to get it wrong here. This is going to be a point separator. A point separator.
I need more than a point separator. I need a point multiplier.
Yeah. All three results are covered though. So someone, if they get the score right as well, it's a big points. It's a big gap generator. I love to see it. Burnley Palace. Interesting.
Come on then.
Listen, I don't know about Burnley. I sit there and think every time I see them, I'm like, I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered backing them. But they always sort of surprise you with a gritty performance. Palace on the back of a 2-1 loss to United.
And a loss in Europe.
And they lost in Europe. Who'd they lose to in Europe? I forgot.
Wasn't Strasbourg, was it?
Is it Strasbourg?
I've forgotten who it was now.
I'm going to say, I think that he's pissed off with the fact that he said those comments. I don't think all is well at Palace. I'm going to go with... I'm going to take
good at home, aren't they?
I'm going to take a punt this one. I'm going to say 2-1 Burnley. That's a real punt. Don't follow me on that one, Johnny.
Burnley, I know, are good at home. I'm just wondering, I was thinking of the draw, but I'm going to go 1-0 Palace.
1-0 Palace. Okay.
Lily, I was thinking of a draw, if I'm honest.
Well, then go with your draw, mate. Go with your draw. You know what happens every time you change your mind?
Nil. Burnley Palace. ACC's gone for a 0-0.
0-0. Don't get many of them in the Premier League.
No.
Very
Wolves
interesting.
versus Forest. This is going to be an interesting one.
East Midlands derby, is it? Does it count as a derby?
Well, I think it's a derby of sorts.
Some sort of local derby.
Listen, I'd love to see Rob Edwards. I like Rob Edwards. I'd like to see him turn it around, to be truthful with you. I thought they had a really good game against Villa away. Forest are obviously going to be favourites for this one. What are you thinking?
I just think I don't know what's going on at Wolves, mate. I don't understand it. I feel sorry for them. It's horrendous. I don't know. I'd say not that I think Forest are particularly brilliant, but I think I'm going to go for Wolves 1, Forest 2. But I'm not. It's not like a conviction call on that one. It could be any result, but I don't think Wolves will win. So actually, yeah, I'm going to say 2-1, but it might be a score draw.
Yeah, I'm going to go 1-1.
Get that Wolves off and running, eh? Get that Wolves off and running.
Yeah, I just I like to see them. I thought they were unlucky. I was going to go for a 2-1 Wolves win, but thinking about Forest, the ammo's much bigger, so I'm going to go 1-1. CC's gone 2-2.
2-2.
You could be right, Marshall. You could be right. I'd love to see Wolves win. The next game, interesting one. Leeds versus Chelsea.
Yeah. Unfortunately, as much as I rate the gritty performances of Leeds, they just don't have quite enough. They just they fight in every game. Like, you've got to respect the approach. Like, they don't really, for me, ever let themselves down in games, but they just don't have quite enough quality. They miss so many fucking chances with that donut Dominic Calvert-Lewin at the top end of the pitch. I'm going to say, I'd love to know what Dominic Calvert-Lewin's XG versus G is, because I reckon he must have he must have had 4 or 5, 6 decent chances to put goals in the back of the net.
Mate, his XG shit, and I bet you he couldn't find the G spot, mate. He misses that badly. Honestly, it's shocking. Listen, Leeds have only lost twice at home in the last 13, 14 months, once to Villa and once to Spurs.
Yeah.
But what are you saying?
I've gone 3-1 Chelsea, but I think that I like that Akafor at Leeds and that Nemeka. I think they're both. Is it Nemeka? It is Nemeka, isn't it?
Nemeka.
I like both those players. I like Leeds as a football club. I hate their fans. Their fans are like, no disrespect, but they're fans that I've come across. I told you the story, didn't I? When I was 9 years old, I had a Leeds United teenager throw a can of Coke in my face, a full up unopened can of Coke, and it put like a dent across my nose. And then I went into school, and then I think someone's dad said to his son, "I'll call him a cokehead," and that name affected me for. Turned out he wasn't that wrong in the end, but
yeah, shame he could have been called Pepsi Head, but at the time, Coke was the bigger brand.
Coke was the bigger brand.
So
I've gone for 3-1 Chelsea. Who have you gone for?
I'm going 3-0.
You're going 3-0 Chelsea.
Yeah.
And CC, my man. What did CC say for Aston Villa? Oh, he went for Aston Villa. He's an Aston Villa fan, isn't he? Yeah.
Went for a draw. Chelsea won 2-0. He went. Yeah.
Chelsea. What did he go for?
2-0 Chelsea.
He went 2-0 to Chelsea, did he? Okay.
Yeah. And last but not least, Liverpool against
there's one more game after that. One more game.
Yeah. Liverpool against battling Sunderland.
It's an interesting one. This is a fascinating game. This
could be anything, right? I mean, the confidence.
If he loses, does he get the chop?
No, I don't think so. But Sunderland have got absolutely nothing to lose. Nothing. They can go there and throw everything at it. No one expects them to win. And if they get something out of it, and the battling performance like they did against Arsenal, like they did against Bournemouth, I'd like to see it. But I think it's going to be very, very difficult I think be interested to see with whether Salah starts tomorrow night. I don't think they need more Salad. I think they need to let him go. He goes off to AFCON on the 15th. The last game is the 13th before he goes. I think maybe now's time to make him suffer, make him sit on the bench, because he's not offering anything. I think he's a hindrance rather than a help now. And seeing that miserable face on the bench, like entitlement to play, is not a good thing for Liverpool. So, where are you going to go? What's your score?
Just want to get CC's changing. I think he's changing a score for Tottenham Newcastle. I think he said he wants to make it Tottenham to win by a goal, but I just want to get a confirmation on that one before I update the scores. For Liverpool Sunderland, I genuinely think that whilst it's
CC is a girl, guys, right?
Oh, is she?
A girl, not a man.
Oh, sorry, CC.
I think there's been a few clues. I'd like to change one, so of course you can. Which score is it you'd like to change, CC?
What are the clues that she's a girl? The fact that she asked politely.
Because I'm a girl. I'm not a guy.
Oh, where does it say that?
Lads, for the record, again, I'm a freaking
girl.
You'd like to change Liverpool to win 2-1.
Cecilia. Is that your name, Cecilia? Okay. And is it changing her mind? Oh no, Nathan McQuarrie.
Oh no, it happened again. What did he just say? I guess it's time to say goodbye. We're getting canceled today.
Oh dear. Silly, you can change it whenever you want. Was that the only score you wanted to change? Or
what did she change it to? What did she change it to?
The Liverpool score, she's got 2-1 Liverpool.
Yeah, but I can't see the. It says Spurs to win by 1 goal. But yeah, I don't know. But I don't know. But like, what are you saying? 1-0 to Tottenham then, Cecilia?
Yeah, that's the one she wants to change. The Liverpool one, she's made it 2-1 to. No, changing Spurs to win 2-1. That's the third change.
2-1. All right, 2-1 Tottenham.
Right.
And what was the Liverpool Sunderland prediction there?
Pardon? 2-1 she made Liverpool.
2-1 Sunderland. I'm going 2-1 Liverpool, sorry. Yeah. I'm going 3-1 Liverpool.
I'm going to go 3-2 Liverpool.
3-2 to Liverpool. Okay, we're all going for Liverpool.
Cecilia, pay attention. You can change your mind should you wish, but you now have to choose a player.
No, we've got another game.
What other game?
Thursday night, Man United, West Ham.
Oh, bloody hell. I forgot about Man U.
Could you forget about them? I think this one is... Do you know what? I think the meltdown continues in the volatility. I'm going to go for 1-1. I don't rate United, Johnny. Everyone tells me that United are back every time they get a result, and I'm like, nah, they're not. They're not. They're a volatile team that anyone can get at. Anyone in the Premier League is capable of beating Man United, and I'm saying that as a Tottenham fan who has exactly the same problems. But I just don't buy that they're that good. Yes, they have good players. Yes, they can turn it on. And yes, on paper, they should absolutely walk past West Ham. But there's something about West Ham. West Ham always put in a shift against United. I'm going 1-1. Come on the irons. Up the irons. Irons!
Don't do that in public. I was quite impressed, I've got to be honest, with West Ham's fighting attitude where they were 1-0 down. Under Potter and the likes, they would have capitulated, and that could have easily been a messy score. But they fought back, and they did really, really well. I mean, they conceded the second goal, but only when they were pushing forward. But I believe United are gaining confidence, and I'm going to go 3-1 to Manchester United.
Okay. All right, then. So that's all 10. That's all 10 games predicted. As you know, Cecilia, the rules are pretty simple. You get 3 points for a correct result. You get 1 point correct scoreline. 1 point for a correct result. 0 for anything else. You also get to pick a player that hasn't been picked before from your previous teammates, and for every goal that they score, you get 3 points extra. For every goal, every assist that they make, they get an extra point. So I'm going to go through the names of the players that Cecilia cannot pick. Anyone you want, Cecilia, just not one of these. No Phil Foden, no Odebear, no Jared Bowen, no Rodgers, no Cody Gakpo, no Voltemade, no Haaland, Grealish, Kudus, Rice, Salah, or Richarlison. So any player apart from them. Johnny, your options are no Delap, no Guacamole, no Jalped, no Mateta, no Evan Nielsen, no Foden, no Saka, no Gordon, no Welbeck, no Bowen, no Haaland, and I've got an asterisk next to Cunha because you cheated on that one. And I'm not allowed to use Thiago, Welbeck.
Foden, sorry, did you say no Foden?
For you?
No, I'm all right with Foden, aren't I?
No, you've used Foden before.
Have I?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not allowed to use Ekitike, Semenyo, Johnson, Guacamole, Salah, Grealish, Haaland, Voltemade, Jesus, Watkins, Welbeck, or Thiago. I think this might be a time to bring in I've already used Voltemade. Do I go for Harvey Barnes? Harvey Barnes potentially. Yeah. I'm gonna pick Harvey Barnes.
Did you say I've used Voltemade?
You have.
I don't think I have I? Don't think
Hang on. No, you haven't used Voltemade, no.
I'm going to go for Voltemade.
Okay.
And CC, what have you going for? Let's see what CC's gone for. CC, can't leave now.
I can't see her.
Don't tell me she's left while she's thinking about changing.
No, she's having a think. She's having a think. She's taking her time. Overanalyzing, like most women. Sorry, I'm only kidding.
CC, wakey, where are you?
She's having a think.
Having a chance to win it.
Oh, yeah, Thiago. She's gone for Thiago.
Gone for Thiago. Good shout. More than capable. CC, where are you based?
Hang about. CC, you predicted 2-0 to Arsenal, but you've gone for Thiago to score. Listen, I don't mind. I'll extend my lead.
She's hedging her bets, Sean.
She's hedging
her bets.
Fair enough.
She could get the score right, and Thiago could score 2 goals. 6 points for that.
No, she went to 2-0 to Arsenal.
Yes, but maybe if she gets the score wrong, right? Anyway,
wrong. Yeah.
Thiago scores. She gets more points for getting 1 goal for Thiago. If she gets it wrong, it's just as right.
It's fine. It's fine. If you want to keep it, you keep it. If you want to change, we can change it. It's no problem.
You can change it if you want. But we got a couple of super chats. I was going to go for Brian and Buemo. I got to be honest with you. So you can get all your money on Brian and Buemo on Thursday, because guaranteed Brian and Buemo will probably smash in a couple. I'll keep it. Okay, well done. Well done.
Thank you, CC. Good luck.
Your mind again.
A couple of super chats. Something Wong, man.
Something Wong? Yes.
He says Mawani to score another brace tonight. Do you know what? Should I back my team rather than rooting for Harvey Barnes? I don't want to feel like I'm happy if Harvey Barnes score. Can I change my guy?
To who?
On the back, even though I said 4-0 to Newcastle.
You can change whatever you want.
Yeah, I'm not going to back Harvey.
Welcome,
Barnes.
Toronto, CC.
I'm going to... no, I'm going to go for... I'll tell you who I'm going to go for. I'm going to go for Isak. I'm not backing a player that's playing against me to score. Isak. I haven't used Isak. Have I used Isak before? Let me check. Have I used Isak? No, I haven't used Isak. Okay, I'm going for Isak. I know that Harvey Barnes is now going to score a hat trick. I know he is.
Yeah. Well, I'm going for Walter Marde, so you can bet Brian and Buemo will probably score. Guys,
thank you very much, Something Wrong. Tony Rodriguez has put in his member for 5 months super chat. Thank you, Tony. You've been a member from the start, my man, since the start of our journey together last summer. Newcastle versus Spurs. He's saying 4-2. What an interest that'd be.
Well, that's listen. Anything's possible. It could be another PSG Spurs game. The way those two teams attack each other, I do fear. We do a quick review on the game, Sean. Just quickly. Yeah.
Let me just super quickly accept these super chats in, because this other one here is one we can bring up. Spurs OC, big up to you, Spurs OC. Big up to you, man. Hope Orange County's treating you nice. I hope weather's nicer there than it is here. Hello, chaps. Awesome show. Keep up the great work. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for the nice feedback. Very cool of you, buddy. I hope you're okay. Yeah, let's do the this super chat. What's your 11 tonight, Johnny?
As much as I'd like to see a free at the back, it ain't going to happen. So I'm going to go for, if it was me, I'd go Destiny Udogie.
Yep.
Mickey van der Ven.
Yep.
Romero. Jed Spence. And my midfield would be Bergvall, Paulinho, Papasar, Mawani, Kudos, Richarlison.
So like this. Or like, sort of more like this. Or like this.
Yeah, like that. Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
I would push Paulinho a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then those two tie up and make those five look connected. Correct.
Yeah. What do you think about Newcastle?
Newcastle, well, the midfield, Miley's done very well, but unless there's an injury to him, I'd put Tonali in there. If I was brutally honest, it would be Tonali for me.
Would you put Dan Burn back out there again and bring in Fabio?
Well, I thought Hall had a really good game. I think I would have to put Hall in. Yeah, that would be it. No, Meow, yeah.
Meow? It's a fucking cat.
Meow. Meow. I don't know why I said meow.
Malik Tower is amazing. Sure that midfield is fucking just terrifying.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, there seems to be a bit of discord regarding Anthony Gordon.
No, I think I was asking the guys on the previous show I just did. Anthony Gordon's had a thigh strain apparently, but since he's been back and fit, Barnes took in, stepped up and just can't be dropped because he's on brilliant form. So,
well, listen, we know that Anthony Elanga is the second fastest player in the Premier League behind Mickey van der Ven. So I think that's going to be an interesting one there. They got a lot of pace there. And you got Walter Mardy holding it up. Listen, I think we're going to have to deal with Livramento and Hall. I'd like to
set pieces with Big Dan Burn, Joel Linton, Walter Mardy. There's 3 6'5" players there, 6'3" and above.
Yeah, we got a lot of short midgets. Look, I think it's very important that both Spence and Destiny try and push forward and try and attack to try and keep Hall and Livramento pinned back a bit. But it's going to be a tough old game tonight. How would you line up?
Yeah, something similar to yours, although I didn't mind. I'll show you this again. I didn't mind someone in the other chat put in this as a formation. And he went with Jed Spence here, Porro here.
Would you play Porro after what's gone on and his performance?
No, he needs to be dropped 100%. but then it was more like.
Interesting. That Sniffer's gone for Ramsdale over Pope, Livramento, Theo Byrne, Hall, Bruno Tonali, Joel Linton, Murphy, Walter Mardy, Gordon, Barnes. I mean, listen, you're going to have Gordon then bringing on Barnes, or Barnes and then bringing on Gordon. A lot of attacking threat.
Would you be okay doing this though? Would you be okay doing that?
You have a look, blow it up.
Is it on the screen?
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to happen, but just wondering whether or not, or even if you were to do that with like maybe like go for Bentancur and
you might. I mean, what you're saying in essence is maybe to overload midfield with one more extra player. Look, I'm wondering whether if you inverted Spence or Udogie just to give a little bit more steel to the middle. I don't know.
I think this is what the guy on my chat was saying. Where is he? Where's Xavi?
Brennan Johnson's done at Spurs.
He was saying something like this, and I was like, I don't hate it. I
didn't even put Xavi Simons in, mate.
Yeah, I don't think Xavi Simons is the right guy for this sort. It's a physical game tonight. Like, you can't have a 5'7" lightweight in. He's going to get pissed off. He doesn't want to be at Tottenham, does he? Let's be honest.
I mean, look, he couldn't start against Fulham. He couldn't start. I mean, what sort of game can he start in? Darlington?
He could have started against Fulham. They chose not to. But
yeah, I mean, he wasn't even outstanding when he did come on. So, guys, if you're in the chat and you haven't hit the like button, please help us hit that button. It's very good.
No,
and if you
I left those players in by mistake. I changed them at the end there. That's that's not how I would do it. I would do the system that you did, Johnny. I'd go 4-2-2-2 or 4-1-2-1-2, whatever. But that's just the other option, isn't it? But I don't think we're going to go to a back three again. Although I don't like the fact that we tried it for one half of football against Arsenal and then shelved it. It seems like the Everton experiment last season all over again.
And no, I don't think Scarlett should be playing. You can keep him on the bench. I don't have a problem with it. But 4-1-3-2 or 4-1-2-2-1, wherever.
There's an argument, mate, that if Xavi Simons does play and you get him into a little bit of space on the counter, that Newcastle's, they've got big lumps of centre backs, right? But they're not particularly like they're big ships, right? They're big ships turning. So
they're turning circle. Look,
depends if you want to risk on or risk off. To me, if I'm Thomas Frank right now, I think if he goes there and shuts up shop. And we lose 2-0 inevitably anyway, nothing's going to change. If you go there and try and play football and try and attack, and even if it's a decent game, but you come away 2-1 loss, I think there'll be a little bit more respect given to Thomas Frank for at least having a go.
But what our team seem to see constantly happening is fans cry out for a player to play. The player plays, and then what actually ends up happening is that player has a crap game. They wanted Gray and Bergvall. They wanted this. They wanted Free at the back. They wanted Destiny to play. Destiny was shocking against Fulham. Now they want Xavi Simons. If Xavi Simons does play and he has a really poor game, who is that on? I mean,
let me just show this. So Tony wants something like this, which is, I'll just do it this way. He wants something like make him
4-2-2-2.
Yeah, but the people specifically, so he wants it like that.
Yeah.
And then these two here.
That's it. Yeah. I'm not against that. I think I'll be honest with you.
Polini, I think he wanted Polini and Bentancur. So proper strong double pivot. And then allow the creativity, but come narrow, and then they can obviously float out here like that if they want to.
Yeah,
I'd be okay with that as well. To be honest, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah.
For me, it's the question mark is: does Simons start or not? And do you play both of Polini and Bentancur, or do you pick one of them and then give the other one to Sarr?
You know what the big problem is, Sean? Have we got Solanke now? We've got a threat off the bench up front. When you do this. You don't have anything.
You don't really have a second gear you can drop into, do you?
No, it's only a drop off. And we saw against Fulham when he made the subs, the drop off. Look, I don't think there's anyone in the Spurs team now that makes you jump off your seat, apart from Kolo Muani, and a lot of people are not sure about that. We don't have a Bale, we don't have a Kane, we don't have a Son, we don't have a Van der Vaart, we don't have a Modric, we don't have world-class players. We have some good players, but I don't believe we have a world-class player in this team currently.
No, I think Ian Meadow said that on TalkSport yesterday. He said, when you go to Tottenham right now, like what player is lifting you off your seat?
I can't see any.
No,
I can't see any. Mind you, I can only see myself. It's gone very dark all of a sudden.
Right, let's should we give it a little breather there? I've got to go and do a load of bits before the game starts tonight. Do you want to jump on for the watch along?
I might try, depending if I'm watching it with my boy. Otherwise, if I'm not, then I'll jump on and watch along. Guys, thanks very much. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button on your way out. Really appreciate it. And if you're listening on audio, please give us a follow. Have we missed?
Yeah, Eamon's just saying if we play without a keeper, we have more of a chance.
Listen, we need a new keeper, in my opinion. Thanks for the super chat. Really appreciate for all your support, guys. It's goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from him. I'll see you about 7:30, guys, on my channel if you fancy it. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, bye-bye.
Bye.